Right. So we thought it might be helpful to just try and pull all of this together into something somewhat coherent. And I think what we're seeing on Simmons and based on what I'm seeing in the chat, I think is reflective of other places, is that we people are in all different places. In terms of both their level of knowledge of all of these tools, as well as how they feel about the tools and their confidence. What I think is really exciting at Simmons, and again, I think this is reflected in the chat, is that we all, as however we might feel about the AI tools, and in particular about some of the ethical and environmental impacts, I think we all also recognize that we would be doing our students and ourselves a disservice if we just try to ignore it because it's not going away. And so the question is, how do we, to use JoJo's analogy, how do we build this plane while we're flying it? And I think what we're seeing is the best way to do it is for all of us to work together to the extent possible. So, some of that, a lot of that, I would say, starts with some open conversations across the campus to try and come to some consensus about our policies and our approaches and things like that, which isn't to say that we all have to do the same things. In fact, I would say at Simmons, there's still a lot of differences across departments and even across faculty and so on, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I think there are courses where you want students to get in and try the tools and explore, and there are courses or assignments where you do not. And so I think having that flexibility and having a certain amount of trust in each other to approach this appropriately is helpful. But I also think that working together across faculty, staff, and students is really helping us to get to the next level. So I think that all of the different services that the Center for Faculty Excellence is providing for faculty, and actually the services that librarians are providing for faculty as well, is really helping us to develop the confidence and the background that we feel like we need so that we can get into these classes and start teaching some of the tools so that we can adapt our assignments and our activities to address these tools in the ways that we want to address them. And then I think that both the tutoring center and again the library is really working so well with students to meet them where they are, to help support them, to, recognizing that most of our students, I think, are feeling similar to the rest of us. They're interested, they're excited, they're nervous. They want to know how to do this and they want to know how to do it well. And so I think that the services that the tutoring center and the library are providing is helping students to gain that confidence. And certainly the survey results suggest that. But I also really love JoJo's point that sometimes the students can be the best teachers. And in a situation where we all have to learn together because it's happening right now, I think that is an ideal approach, is to really just be honest with ourselves and with our students that we really are learning this together and that it's okay, that we can work on it together, we can share ideas, we can make mistakes and recognize that that is going to happen. So I hope that this discussion, it doesn't probably answer a lot of questions. I think it may even raise more questions than it answers, but hopefully it just shows how one campus is grappling with some of these ideas and questions and where we're moving, and potentially will open this discussion up across campuses so that we can all continue to learn from each other and maybe even find ways to partner together across our different communities. So I am going to stop there, or stop the recording there.